how have Chancellor Merkel's views shifted on this idea of European integration?
Well, for many years, Angela Merkel's politics was defined by very slow, measured moves and fiscal austerity, especially when it came to European politics. But as Emmanuel Macron outlined in his very impassioned speech yesterday in the Bundestag, Europe is facing some very real and very critical challenges at the moment. And I think this has been a real wake-up call for the German government. Angela Merkel realising that the time to act in order to define the future of Europe and its security is now, and that the answer, as Emmanuel Macron was calling for, is more Europe, greater integration of the European countries in order to make Europe safer, in order to make it more competitive, in order to make it more crisis resistant. In one way which we've seen Emmanuel Macron win over Angela Merkel is the idea of this permanent Eurozone budget, something which really is starting to take shape. The European leaders discussed this yesterday evening. They will continue to discuss the idea of the Eurozone budget with other European leaders that they meet today in Brussels, and this is something we've seen the Germans be won over on, even if it means that the Germans will ultimately be putting their hands in their pockets and spending a bit more. We've also seen Emmanuel Macron win over Angela Merkel on the idea of a European army, something which still remains quite a contentious issue in Germany, where the idea of military spending is quite unpopular, but something which we've heard Angela Merkel continue to defend as something which will ultimately be more efficient to pool the military resources of Europe and also make Europe safer. So we saw the Berlin-Paris axis really looking very strong yesterday and also in recent days, which of course is crucial for Europe, as of course other European countries are looking to Berlin and Paris when it comes to leading the way and defining the future of Europe.